Dupree Kelly is now a New Jersey congressman. And he told me that that conversation with Tupac is what set him on his way to thinking about politics. I always say, people have asked me, like, what would Tupac be doing now? I don't know for sure, but I live in near LA. There's no way Tupac would just stand by as ICE agents grab brown people and rip them off the streets. There's no way Tupac Shakur, the guy Afeni raised, would just be like, yeah, I got my money, that's okay. Like, that's the kind of shit that set him off, and it was all taught to him in large part by his mom.
Yeah, I'll often ask people like who knew Tupac, who I have the pleasure to interview, like, what would he be doing, or you know, it's kind of sad that his life turned out how it did, because it ended so short in what he would be doing now.
I had an interview. There's a guy named Do It All Dupree Kelly from Lords of the Underground. And he told me a story that it's one of my favorite stories in the book. No one's asked me about it, so I'm telling you it first here. Tupac was in a group called Thug Life that he started. Right. And they were touring with Lords of the Underground. Lords of the Underground was a hip hop trio they all went to Shaw University in North Carolina together. They were guys from New Jersey. And they're touring together. And one day, Dupree Kelly and Tupac get in an argument. And it's heated. This is in Orlando, Florida. And Kelly goes back to his motel room. And a few minutes later, he hears a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. And he looks through the peephole, and it's Tupac. And Kelly calls one of his guys from Lords of the Underground and says, yo, Pac is at the door. And the guy's like, what does he want? He's like, I don't know. I'm just letting you know in case something goes down. He opens the door. It's Tupac. And he's holding two 40s. And he says, this is what Kelly told me. He goes, you ain't going to let me in? He's like, yeah, you can come in. They sit on the bed. He gives him a beer. And he's like, I don't agree with what you were saying today. That was bullshit. He goes, but I love that you stood up to me. And he's like, we all need to stand up for each other. And he goes on this long drive. He's like, you know what? More than that, we need to get involved more. You need to represent New Jersey. I need to represent Oakland. Cube needs to represent LA. Like, we need to represent, right? We need to represent. And then he goes, and more than that, we need to become the community leaders, and we need to get into government. We need to become legislators. And Dupree Kelly's like, I've never thought about this, but I'm like 23 years old. Legislators. He's like, yeah, we need to run for government. We need to be making the laws, not just having them applied to us. We need to make the laws.
Wow.
I love that.
I'm telling you, I know this interviewing you would be a trip and be so insightful when a friend of mine, his name is Cameron, uh-huh. He's a fan of your work. He told me about, you got to interview Jeff Pearlman. Me and you, I don't think you were aware. We started like going back and forth on Instagram. Like,
no, I scrolled back. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, my other account got
hacked.
Yeah, it got taken down. It's a whole thing. So he's like, yo, man, you're gonna love it. He's the guy. Like, anybody who's like the embodiment of a journalist and does his thing. Like, it's
I appreciate that.